Hello students, today we are going to discuss our next topic from the chapter population composition, and our today's topic is rural urban composition. Already I discussed about the composition. Composition means the mixture. Here the meaning of the rural urban composition is it is the division of the population into the rural and urban people in based of their residence. That means rural urban composition means it is the people, how many people, those who are living in a rural areas, how many people, those who are living in a urban areas. This rural urban composition there is no fixed criteria to differentiate between the rural urban settlement pattern. This division is very much necessary because rural urban lifestyle they are differ from each other. In case of the rural areas and the urban areas, the social condition is different, their livelihood, their lifestyle, all the things are different. Even in case of the H6 occupational structure, density of the population, level of the development, this all things varies between the rural and the urban area. A number of criteria are considered to categorize them in different parts of the world. They are based on the size of the settlement, density of the people, function, social, cultural attributes, location, administrative division. Rural urban lifestyle generally differ from the point of view of the livelihood, age, sex, occupational structure, density, level of economic development, social norms, etc. Predominantly, we are saying that rural areas are those areas where the people are engaged in the primary activities. They are depend on the nature for their livelihood, and urban areas most of the people are engaged in the secondary and tertiary activity, that means non-primary activity. So in this way we are dividing the rural and the urban area. Side by side, the population density is a factor. In rural area population density is very less, in urban area the population density is very high. Rural area it's like the houses are not compact, they are scattered. In the urban area it is compact, houses are there. Now see the what is the effect of this rural urban composition. Interestingly, we can say that the rural sex composition reflects the opposite picture in the developed and developing countries. The sex composition in the rural area or the urban areas, it is totally different for the developed countries and the developing countries. Let's see the examples. The countries like Canada, West European, Finland are just the opposite of the African countries and the Asian countries like Zimbabwe, Nepal, respectively. You will find that in case of the Bangladesh and Nepal, female outnumbers male in case of rural areas. Female outnumber males means here in the rural areas, in case of the India, Bangladesh, Nepal, you will find the number of the female population in the rural areas is high than the male population. But in case of the urban areas, you will find the opposite scenario. Over there, you will find male population is outnumbered in the urban areas. This picture is just opposite of the developed nations. Like if you will see USA, you will see Denmark, where you will find the opposite scenario, where the female outnumbers male in the urban areas. In these places, we have seen that female population is more in the urban areas, but male populations are more in the rural areas. USA, Canada, in these places, because due to the different job purposes, the people or especially the females, they are attracted towards the urban areas, and in case of the they are leaving their rural areas and they are coming to the urban areas. This is actually occupied with the security of the woman in the urban areas, but this scenario is opposite in India, Nepal, Bangladesh, because in the urban areas the female security is very less. We have seen that most of our male persons from our home only, they are moving to the urban areas, and females are living in their own places. Moreover, farming in this region is mostly mechanized and dominated by the male members of the family. In case of this USA, Canada and all these developed countries, their farmings are very mechanized. So what happened in this case, it is dominated by the male family member. But side by side, when you will see this Nepal, Pakistan and all these areas, you will find in the developing countries the male migrate to the urban centers for the job opportunities. In our country only, our male population is going in the market in the urban areas for their job opportunities. in these countries women are still engaged in the farming. We have seen that in our villages most of the women are doing the farming as well as the household works. Women are left behind in the villages by the main folk to look their homes, their children's, their parents. They are doing all the household activities and all, but in the USA and Canada this scenario is missing. So in the developing countries the lack of security and force the woman to stay back in the villages. That's why this picture it's totally opposite in the urban and rural composition in a developing countries and a developed countries. Simply you will read what is urban and rural composition, then you will read the definition of the villages and the urban area or rural area. Then what difference you can see in the urban and rural composition in a developed countries and a developing countries. The main difference is in the developed countries the male numbers are more in the villages but female numbers are more in the town areas. But in case of the India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, in these countries we have seen the scenario is opposite, because in our countries the most of the males are going towards the urban areas. We have seen the rural urban migration is occur mostly for the male migrants, but in case of the females due to the different kind of the household job and all, even in our country the females are like most of the number of the people are the female in the agricultural sector. So that's why the scenario is totally opposite. For today this much only. Thank you.